Oh, there we go. We're live now. Okay, we're all set. Okay, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of Top Rope Report here on YouTube and TikTok Live. I'm your host, the illustrious Mr. Trivia. Joining me each week, my co-host, my tag team partner, my best friend, the best in the business, the Nugs to Greg. Greg, what's going on?
I'm a little upset.
Huh?
I'm a little upset.
Why?
They won't let me gift you what you put up for a gift thing.
Oh,
It's not available.
oh, not available. Wow, that's odd.
I don't have any money.
Looks like I'm going to have to get a new chair. Oh, there you go. I got an ice cream cone. Okay, good.
Well, yeah, but that's not your gift goal thing.
That's all right.
No, it's not all right, Danny. You should shoot something people can do.
Well, I didn't realize it wouldn't come up.
Well,
That's it. I'm going to go to my room. So, yeah, so we're going to be doing our Monday Night Raw and our NXT recap this evening. So, without any further ado, if we're all set, Greg, we can get right to it.
all right. Well, this week's Monday Night Raw came from the PPG Pace Arena in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home to the best NFL franchise in history, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who early that day made a trade that is still baffling all Pittsburgh Steelers fans as to why the fuck they did it. But anyways, in true Top Rope Report fashion, anything, everything Monday Night Raw, Terry leads us off. And this week, we had Rhea Ripley come out to the ring to kick off Monday Night Raw.
All righty. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining the TikTok Live tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, this promo really didn't do much for me. Basically, all it was, she came out and said that she was done with Rhea, and hopefully the Judgment Day is in her rearview mirror. Hopefully.
Who said she was done with Rhea?
I mean, Rhea said she was done with the Judgment Day. And so she said hopefully that they're, in her rearview mirror and what was next for her. And Io Sky came out and kind of challenged Rhea to a match. Well, she didn't kind of challenge her. She did challenge her to a match. And obviously Rhea accepted. So now we're going to have those two at Evolution on the 13th of July for the Women's Championship. I mean, yeah, there really wasn't much involved with this. Rhea was like, well, whatever happens in Saudi Arabia, yeah. Whatever happens in Evolution, you asked for it and all that other good stuff. But yeah, I didn't really get too much out of this. It was just two women agreeing to a match for the championship. I gave it a C-.
Okay. I gave it a little bit better overall. I did actually give it a C. And it's weird because Io, who speaks very broken English, getting better at it from when she first, came to WWE, spoke more than Rhea, which that's the estimation of a failed promo. Secondly, what it really seemed to me like they were told, listen, we're doing 2 shows here tonight. Don't take it too long. It's going to be the same crew doing both shows, so let's just chop and do the bare minimum we have to do. And that's what it was, the bare minimum. Rhea wasn't out there too long much before Io Sky came out. Rhea was ready to tell us her plans in Evolution, and Io Sky was like, you are wrong about one thing. You are not on top. Reaction, I don't remember what it was, but she said something, and then like 10 seconds later, she started off sounding like she was going to say the same thing, but then recovered well enough to, nail that final line. Um, yeah, it was not what you would expect for an opening promo of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And yeah, like I said, I gave this overall a C.
Okay.
Backstage, we saw Dominic Mysterio clashing Darkness until AJ Styles and Pierce ruled the phenomenal one cannot touch him until he is cleared to compete. But that didn't, keep Dominic from antagonizing AJ Styles. We then went to the World Tag Team Championship match, as was the champions. Kofi Kingston and Jey Uso of the New Day taking on Finn Balor and JD McDonagh on the Judgment Day. I get to lead off with this. I mean, Kofi actually looked good in the beginning of this match. They were kind of working over JD McDonagh until he got the hot tag to Finn Balor. And the roof, like, you would never have been able to know that Judgment Day were heels in this match because the roof blew off the joint. It really kind of intensified with near balls. There was a Spanish fly from the top rope. Jimmy Dunn, that Woods narrowly came in and broke up with the 2 count. Balor couldn't grab a Woods and secured the win and the titles for the Judgment Day. This was an excellent match between 2 really good tag teams. Balor had, Corey Graves, he's great. I mean, another I don't miss Pat McAfee, but with Corey Graves being there, it's easier to miss Pat McAfee.
Yep.
One thing that he said is that Balor has more abs than I have fingers. So, I mean, Finn Balor, once again, I can't emphasize how huge that pop was when we got that hot tag. Then in the end, Finn Balor, JD McDonagh, and Rey Mysterio, Jesus Christ, Dominic Mysterio were all there holding their titles. I really like this. I actually give it an A-.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought this was a really good match. Hey, Alice. Would I have bet on the Judgment Day to win and take the titles in this match? No, I didn't expect that to happen. I was kind of surprised that they got the 3 count and won the title. But before I continue, getting back to what you said about Dominic and AJ Styles, Greg, do you see the arms on AJ Styles? My God, you can tell he's really been hitting the gym. I mean, he looked bigger before. He looked big before, but now he's bigger. Man, it's a good thing. It's a good thing he paid attention to my workout video. But yeah, but this match was good. I mean, I think Judgment Day. I hope they give him a decent run with it. Don't put it on him for 2 or 3 weeks and take it off him again. And the New Day, I think that they just wanted him to, get their first title run as heels and see how that went. But I enjoyed the match. I gave it a B+.
Okay. We saw 2 things backstage. We saw Adam Pearce stepping between Bayley and Myra and make a matchup between later in the night between the 2 of them. We saw a video packaging tag was pretty good, hyping up Goldberg ahead of the Saturday Queen and then that instructor. But then we saw an injured Chad Gable. Kind of wish, kind of tell IBC she's got to take care of Stephanie McCare. The Creed brothers got to take care of. They got to take care of. And when asked who was in charge, Chad Gable told them to listen to Ivy.
Yep.
Then I went to the next matchup where it was the Celtic Warrior Sheamus against the Bulgarian Nightmare Rusev. Chev, you're up first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a match from way back when they used to be tag team, and this was a good match. I mean, I hope that I could see them go at it a couple more times. I enjoyed this match. It was just a thing where, I mean, Rusev and Sheamus are both strong, powerful guys. But when Rusev is hitting him and Sheamus is like, come on, man, hit me again, hit me again. It's like, I mean, that either that's the guy that does it's not all there, or that's a pretty strong guy. And I'm gonna go with the second one. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. I thought it was good. Um, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know what Rusev's contract was when he came back to WWE. I don't know how long he's going to be in WWE, but
2 years.
2 years, okay. And yeah, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was really good. I really think that the right guy won, though. I mean, I didn't think that they were going to have Sheamus get the win. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it a B plus.
Okay. Yeah, this was, I mean, it was a banger. It really was.
That's the word I was looking for.
It was a punishing physical match that really tested the toughness of both men. They had welts and bruises all over their body. And neither one really had any extended advantage. It was very much not typical, but a prototypical back and forth matchup. I mean, it took a little time to get going, kind of like they were, kind of each other out. And what else? Yeah, I mean, they showed to the outside of the ring, where Sheamus gave a roll kick, but could not follow up about it. A barely recovered Rusev caught his opponent with an eye poke and then drove him first into an exposed turnbuckle before delivering the matcha kick for the win. So it's interesting that he won the accolade on Sheamus, but that did cause Sheamus to lose. He didn't tap out. And it was the matcha kick that got the win. But, it was a very solid match between guys. I do think we're going to see another matchup between the two of these, where I can see Sheamus winning that one, and then maybe one final quote-unquote matchup between the two of them, where Rusev finally goes over, and then, I don't know, maybe they decide to work together, or Rusev and Sheamus become a tag team, who knows. But I gave this one a solid B.
Greg, do you think this match, if a rematch between these two, do you think this might be a PLE worthy match?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's a third match, and maybe that can be a clash of pairs.
Okay.
Next week we saw Finn Balor talking with Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, and convinced them to let Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez be the new tag team champions. And they said that they revealed that they would only do it if for one way only, and they had to defend themselves in a glory match against a team from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT at Evolution. We also saw backstage, we saw the Creed Brothers and Ivy Nile, American Made, standing there getting interviewed by Jackie Woodman, and Monte Americano appeared, a little bit taller and more slender. Monte Americano appeared and walked by.
Yep.
Yeah. Then saw Sami Zayn get attacked by Karrion Kross, demanding that Sami Zayn say his name. And he will appear I believe in we went to the ring where we had Gunther come to the ring. Although, did you grade it this week or not? Okay.
I'm up.
I
Nope.
believe I am up.
Okay. Yeah, we have a comment here from Snowman. It says, think Alexa and Charlotte will be the SmackDown team? Yes. As a matter of fact, Greg had mentioned. Well, yeah, no spoilers.
Because he does not know spoilers.
Nope, but I think they will be. I'd like to see it. So,
I want to see the Bella Twins take on the Iconics on SmackDown and right to represent SmackDown. That's what I want to see.
that would be cool. So, alrighty.
I believe I'm up.
Yep. Thank you for your question, though, by the way, Snowman.
So Gunther came out and was, once again, talking down about Goldberg. He said at one point, he said, I heard Goldberg say he doesn't like bullies. Well, Bill, too bad. You bumped into the biggest bully around here. Just like his matches summed up in 3 minutes for you. And then, now we're left to wonder if you still got it. I'm going to expose that you never had it. And it's really how he was just going to brutalize Gunther. And then wanting to know, what, he's you be the one after that match over say who's next. And behold, freaking Rollins and Paul Heyman came down. He said that he didn't go into Saudi Arabia. Kind of made a comment about him not being able to get it done at Saudi Arabia. He said he didn't go to Saudi Arabia to cash in the money in the bank, but rather cost CM Punk. He reiterated that CM Punk will never win a world title while he's alive. And said, he hinted that Gunther could be next. And then CM Punk came down, and we get another ball between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. And I am so fucking sick of it. I'm done. I am so done with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I don't know how they're going to end it, but they need to end it. I'm tired of it.
Yep.
And then, after it was over, we saw Seth Rollins run up into the crowd, and we saw CM Punk shove Gunther to the mat, leaving the champion in dismay. And then Seth Rollins up in the audience, taunting Seth Rollins, taunting CM Punk, taunting him, who shoved up over Seth Rollins' shoulder, but L.A. Knight. And they roll out into the concourse, which is a very, very nice concourse. Nice set of carpeting, the table.
Yep.
Normally, it's a barbecue concourse, and most places, the arenas I've been to, they're stepping on chewed gum. And
right.
There's garbage all over the place.
Spilled beer.
And then we now know that there's going to be a match on the LA Knight and some freaking Rollins at the Saturday night's main event. I could not out CM Punk coming out, and just that and that alone, I can only give this a B+. I wouldn't give it an A or an A-, but I'm just sick of the CM Punk Seth Rollins thing, so I can give it a B+.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I gave it the same grade. Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of the CM Punk Seth Rollins bit myself. That is a nice briefcase that Seth has, though, with his logo on it and everything else. And But yeah, I mean, when he went back, thank you for the rose. When he went up those stairs, I mean, LA Knight was right behind him, and CM Punk just, pushed Gunther right on his wallet and said something to him, stay out of my way, or whatever the hell it was he said to him. But yeah, that's I really don't. I really think they're going to need a. No, thank you. I really think they're going to need a. I don't know, maybe one last Hell in a Cell match or a cage match or something like that to end the thing between Seth and Punk, because that's what they did with Seth with Punk and Drew. I mean, they ended it in a Hell in a Cell, and so, I mean, I'm sure they still don't like each other, but we're not seeing them go at it almost every week like we do.
Drew was also moved to another brand.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good to see Gunther and Seth in the ring. And Gunther was like, "Well, you really haven't accomplished much," and Seth looked at him like, "What are you, high or something? I haven't accomplished much. Where have you been?" But yeah, I gave it a B plus as well.
Okay. We then went to another backstage segment where the Judgment Day officially Roxanne Perez into the group as the newest member. Jerry Dominic did not want to go to the journey, but he wanted more. We then went to the next matchup, which was, I guess, I never did know until they announced the match, a number one contender match for Becky Lynch's Intercontinental title, and it was Bayley taking on Lyra Valkyria. Trey, you are up.
Yes, I was looking forward to hoping they were going to make this match after the history that has been going on with these two. I enjoyed this match. It was a good match. I was kind of disappointed that. Well, I mean, maybe she wasn't there, but if she was there, I was kind of disappointed Becky, at least didn't come out with her music playing or something and sit ringside like some of them do sometimes, sit at the announcer's table. But yeah, I liked this match. I thought it was really good. I really think, in my opinion, they're probably going to end up a triple threat match between those three. Maybe at Evolution, but it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting to see where they're going to go with this. If Bayley's going to win, if Lyra's going to get the title back, if Becky's going to, continue to reign over the women's division as the Intercontinental Champion. But I thought this was a good match. I gave it a B.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, first thing, I mean, I was so disappointed in the crowd in this match. In the beginning part of this match, it's almost like they didn't know who they wanted to cheer for, so they didn't cheer for either of them. And it wasn't until they started doing a forearm back and forth that the crowd finally came alive. And that was like 2/3 of the way through the match. I mean, it was a 10-minute match, and like the first 7 minutes of it was nothing. And it may have been because the crowd didn't know who to cheer for. Neither were a heel in this matchup, so they just didn't cheer at all. And considering the match was for a shot at Becky Lynch's IC title, lack of a finish, of a conclusive finish, because they both apparently pinned each other. Rep Jessica Carr, who I love, said that they both pinned each other, so it was a double pin. So, I mean, what they're going to do, the only way you can get her, holy shit, dude.
What?
That belly way, damn. So, 48 states. What you said, I think the inevitable is that we're going to have a triple threat match between the three. And what's cool pin two to win that match.
Yep.
But I just overall I gave it a B minus.
Okay, I don't think we've ever seen a draw come down like that before. That's why I was kind of shocked when that happened. It was like, well, okay.
Yeah. After that, we then went to the tag team matchup where it was Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed taking on Sami Zayn and Penta. I lead off for this, and despite the once again, I mentioned this to Trey. Why is it when people get rooms are up here, they're just below your
Yep.
Why is the tape always around the belly? I'm not doing anything for your ribs.
I know.
And then it always slides all the way down to the waist, anyways.
Yeah.
But Sammy's all taped up, and we got a couple. This is awesome change during this match. I mean, yeah, we had Sammy getting beaten down for quite a bit of time, and that also gets me why this guy's reaching out his hand, and this arm is bent, holding on the rope. This arm reaches out. Just extending your arms. I mean, anyways. So we finally get Penta with the hot tag, and anytime there's a hot tag for the base, the crowd goes nuts. We got another huge pop. And Penta really, he exploded in the ring. He gave a picture-perfect DDT counter to a gorilla press that Brock Breaker was getting ready to do. And that was just great. And yes, Penta delivered perfectly, but if you don't sell it perfectly, then it doesn't look good.
Right.
Everything kind of broke down from there, culminating with Sami Zayn getting up enough strength to send Bronson Reed to the mat with a suplex. Totally impressed with that. But then shortly after that, Braun Breaker destroyed Sami Zayn. The spear for the win. Penta already being taken out. They, Bronson Reed even started yelling tsunami in the ring, which I never saw him do before. And they're setting up Sami Zayn for what the next would have been, the prequel to his funeral, with a few tsunamis and main event Jey Uso. Yes, up here, folks. Came down to the chair, bending off the evil doers. Following the main event, it was a tag match, and I said to Mike that, you know what, if they really don't start making this Seth Rollins now with a lawsuit, I mean, they had to win, and they did. Solid way to end the show. I gave it a B+.
Okay. Yeah, I love this match. I thought it was really good from start to finish. Yeah, I agree with you about the rib thing there. I mean, like you said, they're up here. So, like the thing with Sheamus when he hit him into the ring post, he hit him here. I was like, wow, he got a low neck, a low throat. But I can understand why he was, it was in a close proximity. But, yeah, Penta is showing me more and more every week that he can just hang with the big guys, regardless of how big or how strong they are. Penta can just hang with them, and that's a good thing for him. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if and when they join him up with his brother and go back to being the Lucha Brothers again, because that would be awesome. But yeah, I enjoyed this match from start to finish. I thought it was great. Good thing, like you said, good thing Jey Uso came out to get Sammy out of the way of that tsunami, or they would have folded him up with the ring when they were packing it up. He wouldn't have been able to get out of there. So, but yeah, I gave the match an A.
So overall, what do you think?
overall, I mean, other than a couple of weak spots, I thought it was a good Monday Night Raw. You know, they had a lot of good action stuff. You know, the tag team match was great. Rusev and Sheamus, I thought was really good. Like I said, and the tag team match to close out the show was good. I gave it a B plus.
Okay. If I would grade Monday Raw on match quality mode, I'm right there with you with a B plus, but I can't. The opening segment was horrible, and it was just too much like stupid stuff backstage. So I would give it a solid B.
Okay. And that was our Monday Night Raw recap. We hope that everybody on TikTok enjoyed it. Right now, you're going to enjoy this part of the show because I know I do. The most informative man in the podcast industry, the Nugster Greg with Nuggies News. So, Greg, take it away.
Right now, she looks like a 501. You better be at about 20,000 by the time I'm done. Then we're going to be at 502 by the time I'm done. Netflix is releasing a docuseries called WWE Unreal. It debuts on Netflix on July 29th, and it will reportedly feature major influence from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. According to a site I'd never heard of before, Post Wrestling, The Rock and his team, quote unquote, did provide notes regarding his appearances in the Omaha Productions, which is also NFL Films, Skydance Force, and WWE joint venture, which offers backstage glimpse at the creative process. The Rock will reportedly primarily featured in the fourth episode of the show, which will focus on John Cena's heel turn at Elimination Chamber. So, in my eyes, this is, once again, The Rock putting his hand in a cookie jar that he does not need to put his hands into. They're part of Hollywood, but you can't produce your own movies because they're paying you $18 million.
Right.
You don't need to do that.
Yep.
So there have been memes going around, and I watched a couple of the crushing blow that Charles Robinson took from John Cena and even Mike Slappy and other champions. According to Michael Select, those who were watching backstage broke out into quote unquote huge laughter when Robinson took the bump. And it said that on recording that Robinson was blind on the spot and didn't suffer an injury of any kind. So if you haven't seen it, it is definitely one of the viewed thing on Leather Champions on YouTube.
Yep.
Just you gotta look at it. You haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's also being reported by WrestleVotes that WWE had produced merchandise for Travis Scott featuring the Money in the Bank location, the logo, and the date, but it never saw the light of day because he was pushed for Ron Killings / R-Truth's surprise return. Apparently, Travis Scott was being set up to do something at the end of that match, but they hacked that and had Ron Killings come out. I think that was a great choice. WWE is reportedly making a late push to add several legends to Evolution. Once again, according to Michael Select, WWE has contacted a quote-unquote a number of legendary all-women show, and some of the talks and created for the events have come quote-unquote down to the wire. There was originally a pitch for a matchup of Nikki Bella versus Liv Morgan to be a feature match at Evolution, but with Liv Morgan being out for several months, they literally said that they quote unquote picked up and started from scratch. And that's why it may seem they're a little bit behind schedule with announcing matches for Evolution.
Okay.
Today, a picture of him in a hospital bed on Instagram that he has already undergone surgery and expects to be out for an undisclosed period of time. I really think that was a huge, huge loss to WWE's mid-card scene. As I mean, he's Chad Gable and El Grande Americano.
Yep.
Article that gave WWE and AEW's most pleasant surprises and biggest disappointments. I'm only giving you 4 WWE ones, and just quite simply tell me if you agree or disagree.
Yep.
One of the big surprises: Chad Gable shines in dual role.
Yeah, I agree. Most people can't shine in a single role. He's doing it in dual.
Right, exactly. He was a lead role in American Made, and for those who don't remember, El Grande Americano is the speed champion. So to me, it's going to be very, very curious as to whether Ludwig Kaiser and El Grande Americano is still the speed champion, or what do they do with that? Next one they have a disappointment: John Cena's heel run.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I think I'm more disappointed in that than anything.
Yeah, I think it's been a big disappointment. I honestly think his matchup against CM Punk is truly the first time that I really felt him as a heel. When he's probably closer to returning back to a base turn than anything. Another one of the other big surprises: the resurgence of Finn Balor.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he's just from here to here now.
Yeah, we always when we had it in him, and partially I think a good part of the reason was is obviously until Liv Morgan went away for her movie, it was still kind of a Liv and a little bit of a Finn show, and then it became all Finn Balor. Where last year was really the Liv Morgan show, showing how she was a leader of Judgment Day and everything went through her.
Yep.
So really, she's really able to take that on. And then Jey Uso's World Heavyweight Championship run.
Disappointment? Yeah.
In what way?
Well, I really can't blame him. I mean, well, no, wait a minute.
No, I'm asking. Why?
Well, maybe because it wasn't long enough. He didn't have very many title defenses. They need to get rid of that, coming through the crowd. That takes way too fucking long.
The crowd loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole world does it.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
it's like if you were to get rid of the Undertaker's song, you never would have.
Right.
The crowd ate it up.
Yep. So, but yeah, I think.
Disappointing because of the length that it was.
Yep.
And I would rather have seen him lose the title to somebody other than losing it back to Gunther. And I would have at least liked to have seen him carry it through the SummerSlam. All right. So we were talking about a potential IC title match at Evolution Triple Threat. So I pull up a card here that says 2025 Matt Carnage and Abner Metal Champions for Evolution. So I have here, so once again, it's happening, and once again, True 90s News, a side level hit this match where it happened.
Yep.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi with the special guest referee of Tiffany Stratton.
I'll say, yeah, I can see that happening. I'll go with that. I just can't.
On a scale of 1 to 10, likelihood of it happening.
I'll go likelihood of it happening 7, but not with Tiffany as the guest referee.
Right.
And then what was the other one?
Excitement level.
Exci-
Come on, I do this all the time.
Excitement level 8.
Okay. Excitement level, I'll go 4 because I don't think Jade and Naomi put on a good match the first time at WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to be better at Evolution. And then likelihood, once again, I'll go 5 only because I don't see them doing a Tiffany Stratton as special referee.
Right.
So this is the other one. Women's IC title match. Bayley versus Lyra versus Becky Lynch.
Likelihood, I'll go 8.5. Excitement level, I'll go 9.
I'll go 9 and 9. I think next one we already know is locked in, so just your excitement level board. NXT Women's Championship, Jordan Grace versus Jason Jane.
Excitement level 5.
I'll go 6.
Okay.
I really want to see what these two women do with, under the big lights. Yes, NXT has PLEs, but this is our main roster PLE
Right.
match.
Yep.
Next one, spoiler, it won't happen. Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair. So, what would your excitement level be, and what's the likelihood of this happening?
My excitement level on that would be an 8. And the likelihood of it happening, I'll go like 6.
Okay, I like it because spoiler. How the likelihood?
Yes.
How the likelihood of this happening? 9.5.
Yes, yeah.
Likelihood, I would say solid group 6. And excitement level, I'd just be disappointed. I'm not disappointed, but I would be so disappointed because I think they would have Charlotte win, and I don't want to see her beat Alexa. So I'm excited level 5.
Okay.
Next, the Women's United States Championship match. Against Julia.
Likelihood, I'll probably go 7. Excitement level, I'll go 6.
Okay. Likelihood, I'll agree. I'll go 7.5. Excitement level, I'll go 5 because once again, happened to Lady Vega.
Right.
Excellent spoiler alert won't happen. Women's tag team title match, the Bella Twins against Raquel and Roxanne.
Oh, okay.
If it were to happen.
If it were to happen, I would say likelihood would be like 6, 7 maybe. And the excitement level for me would be like an 8.
Okay.
Hey, Bobby Dean.
The excitement level only just because I get to see Brie Bella would be about a 7.
Right.
Absolutely adore that young lady. More than Nikki just, I don't know, she just, to me, it's crashing. But anyways, and then likelihood of it happening, I'll go 12.8. Singles matchup, Stephanie McCare against Ivy Nile.
Likelihood, only because they mentioned it on Raw Monday night. Likelihood, I'll probably go 8. But excitement level, I'll just probably go 7.5.
Yeah, I'll agree with both of those. Like, I go 8, and then 7 level. I'll go even higher. I'll go 8.5 only because it gets Stephanie on the show.
Right.
And then the last one we know it's already been confirmed. Rhea Ripley against Io Sky. So just your 7 level for that.
9.
I'll go 8.
Okay.
And that is what I have for Nuggets news this week. Jimmy, I understand you have a handful of independent shows you want to talk about.
Yes, I do. This Saturday, July 5th, Blood, Sweat, and Tears Wrestling presents Star Spangled Bash at 888 Union Avenue in Bridgeport, Connecticut. The doors open at 2 p.m. Tickets are $15 for general admission and $30 for a 3-pack. But wasn't that a rapper? Oh, no, that's 2-pack. Okay. Some of the scheduled matches that have been signed already. A-Game versus Dijak. Thank you, Greg. A women's match. Ashley Vox versus Livia. I'm gonna save this third one for last because this one could be interesting. Amity Levy versus Alika Damaya. Steve Stetson versus Andy Brown. The BST Territory Championship, as Dustin Flash Waller will square off against Mantequilla. The Tag Team Championship will be Diaspora and Melagodi, I guess that's how you pronounce it, along with against the Haven, and Sammy Diaz versus Mortar. That is July 5th for Blood, Sweat, and Tears Wrestling in Bridgeport. Also, July 18th, Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling will have Dustin Flash Waller versus Ichiban for the Lineage Championship. Sammy Diaz versus RJ Rude. Pedro Dones versus Chris Bene. The night after, July 19th, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling presents Bash at the Brewery at the Armada Brewery. The feature match that night will be Sean Knight versus Richard Holiday. And I forgot to announce the match here for July 5th, Blood, Sweat, and Tears Wrestling, a 6-man tag team match. The Brick City Boys and Wrecking Ball Legursky against Swipe Right and the most marketable man in wrestling, Richard Holiday. So that should be an interesting team. I mean, you've got some names there. Swipe Right, we see them on NXT. So, and then the last one is Saturday, August 20th, Pure Vanguard Wrestling at 255 West Street in Bristol, Connecticut at the Boys and Girls Club. Tickets are $20. The newly crowned champion, Randy Shawn, will go against Michael Mistrella. So you definitely want to check out these shows as they happen in the Connecticut area. Connecticut is the hotbed of indie wrestling, so definitely check it out. So right now we're going to go to our NXT recap. So Greg, if we're ready, we can go.
All right. Once again, they were from the company confines of the sorry, I'm just choking here. Give me a second.
Yep.
The company confines in Orlando, Florida. True top for fashion, anything and everything NXT. I lead off, so I get to go right into it. So it opened up with Trick Williams coming out, and I was like, oh god, Trick Williams been taken like it. But it was only because he was going to be on commentary. The matchup, which was Wesley of the High Rise against Joe Hendry, the former TNA World Champion. One thing I will say is Trick was actually kind of funny on commentary. But he's not good on the mic. He's kind of bad. But Wesley obviously was outsized by Joe Hendry, but he's always able to counter that with his speed and agility.
Yep.
That definitely took place here. Joe Hendry took control early, and then Lee was able to kind of gain the upper hand with a flurry of fast-paced moves. We then went to commercial break. When we returned from the break, Joe Hendry was back in the driver's seat, using his strength to kind of toss Wesley around. I know Mike Santana came out shortly after that to get involved with the other two gentlemen from High Rise or outside the ring, kind of getting in the way. And it was, like the crowd, they got a pretty good pop, but it was small. It's always a small crowd in NXT, but he got a nice loud pop when he showed up. After Mike Santana showed up, and Joe Hendry won with a choke slam, which I don't see him use much, because he's not really that tall of a man, so to see him use a choke slam was a little high.
Right.
But it was a good opening match. But it not provided room for what comes after to be better. I guess in 2.5 weeks is a triple threat match with the TNA World Title, Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and Trick Williams. So I won't see it, but we'll have to see what happens with that. I thought you may open it up again to B-.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a good way to open the show. Wesley versus Joe Hendry. I believe that's the first time I've seen those two compete against each other in the ring one-on-one. Joe Hendry is a lot better in the ring now than I thought he was. And Wesley, I've always said from, for a long time, I really think Wesley is main roster ready. Because the man is just amazing in the ring. He's quicker than a hiccup. But, Joe Hendry got the win because, like you said, they're building it up for the triple threat match with him and Mike Santana and Trick Williams. But I knew once he came out, Mike Santana, and he took care of, High Rise, and he got a hold of them. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate the compliment. And he got a hold of them, and then the choke slam, like you said, I've seen Joe Hendry use it before, but it looks so out of place with him using it because he's really not that big of a guy. But, yeah, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good way to start off NXT. I gave it a B.
Okay. Did you grade the Luca Crucifino thing?
Yep.
All right. So after that, we had Luca Crucifino come out to the ring to kind of set the story straight. Tim, you can take it over from here.
Yeah, this was pretty stupid. Luca Crucifino come out. He's trying to convince Tony D'Angelo that he could trust him, and I guess he calls him his consigliere or whatever it is he calls him. Consigliere. And then Stacks came out with the Heritage Cup, and Luca just pops Tony D'Angelo, knocks him on his ass, and then Luca comes over, puts his arm around. Stacks come over to Luca, puts his arm around him, starts talking, smiling and everything, and then Luca just popped him one right in the chops and said the only one that he can rely on is himself, and off he went. I really didn't like this that much. I thought it was dumb. Could have done without it. I gave it a D.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe this is when we were going to see is. But, we never got that. Looking laying out both Tony D and Stacks. Okay. Um, Loyalty is to himself before leaving. And yeah, I guess that means all three men are by themselves going forward. I don't know. But yeah, let's do with more questions than answers. So yeah, I agree. I totally agree with it today. After that, we went to a singles matchup made up from last week where it's Lexus King taking out Miles Ward. I just went first for this. I mean, this was actually a pretty evenly matched, evenly, evenly matched match. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. It had a good back and forth. Um, didn't know at the end who was gonna win. Thought maybe Lexus King might squeeze his way into it. And I know we made mention of it on the commentary desk, but Lexus King, dude, he's been hitting the gym. He did a little of that belly flap and getting, more pronounced in the pecs and looking, okay, a little less like a dad bod and more like, somebody taking his crap seriously. He's definitely got himself in a better shape, but, it wasn't that long. It was, hold on, I guess we're back here.
Connecticut.
Yeah, it was 4.5 minutes long, which was probably the biggest failure of this match. I definitely wanted more, which I guess most of it. I think the end was 1-1. And these guys do this again, I wouldn't mind it. I give it a solid B.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I thought this was a good match. Guys were pretty even. These guys are pretty evenly matched in the ring. Like you said, I agree with you with Lexus King. Looked like he's been spending some time in the gym. It's just, Miles Bourne is just an amazing talent in WWE. I think they're doing a great job with him. Lexus King, well, I can start seeing his dad in him more and more all the time. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. I look forward to another one between these two down the road. Maybe my grade will be a little higher the next time they meet. I gave it a B-.
Okay. After that, we went to a singles matchup. Excuse me. There was a newcomer, Lady Reed, taking in her second match, taking on Thea Hale. Trevor, what do you think of this match?
All right, thank you. Yeah, Thea Hale, once again, a ball of energy. I love the way she just zips around the ring, the way she does. Lady Reed, like you said, newcomer. I'm getting to like her style. I mean, I really don't think she's that bad in the ring. I can't remember where they said she was from, but I think it was Alabama or something. But she definitely looked good in the ring. Her and Thea went at it. I mean, Laney did get the win. Thea Hale is just a little spark plug of a woman in a great division, and I was just glad that I was able to see her go at a newcomer like Laney Reed, and put her over. But I thought it was a decent match. I gave it a C+.
Okay. Yeah, it was a decent match. I mean, there wasn't much of the match. It was, what was it again? There, 4 minutes, 22 seconds. And, it was very hard to tell when you read. Now, one thing, if you watch LFG, one thing that the up-and-comers get told is if you're going to be a heel, you've got to show your heel. And Mary didn't show whether she was a bitch or a heel until she cheated twice. So up until, right in the seconds into the match, he didn't know if she was just a real face, or if she was a heel.
Right.
Now, she's not ugly, but the way they were having Booker T swoon over this young lady really was confusing because she's not bad. She's 26 years old. That was a little confusing to me, but yeah, it was just an average match, I give it a C.
All righty.
And then after that, we then went to a tag team matchup that saw Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley take on Zarya and Saruka. I didn't lead off with this, and I mean, confusing is the first word I'll use for this. So Wilkins already to the show right away, like dunking a couple of those lines. And at one point, actually, who really is good in the ring, she really is. She threw her out of a waist lock with a backflip, and then made the tag to Izzy, which was phenomenal. They were then double team Saruka. Then they went to a break, and at one point we then saw Zarius go to spear Izzy Dame, and Tatum pulled her out of the way, and she speared Saruka. Izzy Dame then hit a powerbomb on Saruka to get the win. So Izzy Dame and actually a newly formed tag team beat the only really established tag team with experience in NXT. Just and don't understand. Much good matchup. I actually think it's a solid B.
All right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I was surprised that Saruka and Zarya took the loss. I love Tatum Paxley. She's not only she's funny, but she's also her character's funny, but she's good in the ring. I mean, she carries that doll with her, which I think is pretty cool. Izzy Dame, well, I'm still not sold on her, but yeah, Zarya and Saruka. I mean, do we see maybe? I don't know. Maybe somewhere down the line we might see a split between them if they don't.
Why not? Why not? We don't need tag teams in the women's division at all.
Right. I mean, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was surprised at the outcome. I didn't expect Saruka and Zarya to take. I almost said Zarya to take the loss. But I thought it was a decent match. I gave it a B-.
Okay. After that, we then went to a battle of big men, where we had Yoshiki Inamura take on Jasper Troy to determine the next number one contender for the NXT Championship. All the fans in the show watching backstage. Trent, you're up first.
Okay. Yeah, this Inamura, or whatever, however you pronounce it. He's a tough wrestler, good wrestler. Jasper Troy, I understand he's a newcomer. He's an LFG winner from season 1. He was on Booker T's team. Booker T needs to teach this guy how to sell. I understand he's young. He's in the business. Probably doesn't know very much about, selling certain moves. But, I mean, I understand he's a big guy, too. He's like 315, 320. And Inamura was just, hitting him with some stuff that he just looked at him like, go away. And then you have the guy lose. I mean, if you're gonna make him out to be, this big, strong, tough guy that seemed indestructible from some of these moves, why have him lose? That's just the way I look at it. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. Imura and Boba Fett should be an interesting match. And we all know that Jasper Troy has gone after Oba Femi before. Now it's Iwamura's turn. I'm looking forward to seeing that match when it happens. I gave it a B.
Okay. So, let me try. I know you're not doing well in our fantasy, and you're not doing well in our prediction show. So maybe you've forgotten a lot about wrestling, like you said. But, you know, you think Hulk Hogan no soul when people started to hit him when he was hulking up?
Well, he made some kind of attempt to look like something hurt.
No, it's what happens. It's part of the character. His punches aren't going to affect me. You better do something to really knock me out and teach me out, like a 300-pound man jumping up the top rope after bouncing and landing on top of me, knocking the breath out of me.
Oh, okay.
To get the win.
Okay.
You know, and I mean, Livermore is a big guy himself, and so I mean, Jasper Troy, just made him look like an average man. It was a hard-hitting fight. And yes, Jasper Troy still needs to gain experience. It's, Iwamura is stronger than he appears. He got Jasper up for a side suplex with absolutely no trouble at all.
Right.
And this was a really, really good match to watch. After it was over and everyone was celebrating, Javon Evans attacked Jasper Troy after the match was over. And that's something you have to work on. Is when Javon's jumping off that top rope to give the neck breaker, you got to be in the right spot to take it, and he wasn't. So everything Jasper needs to work on. Is he going to be a monster? As G says, yeah, eventually. But I did enjoy this match. I did with me.
All right. Hey, you guys are up to 955 likes. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And the show ended. Coming up to the ring to cut a promo. I get to lead off. And she came in, and the rest of Vader Force came out and interrupted her. And just when I thought a solo promo by Jordynne Grace couldn't be any worse, it got worse when she had to then try to retort what GCJ was saying and then come back with things, and it just looked bad. We had a little fisticuffs about, I know Mike didn't get us a good grade because of that. It was a little, brawling, and Blake Monroe came out for the save. I don't remember the last time a woman came out to make a save, and she was in boots and a skirt from backstage. Normally they come running up from backstage, at least in wrestling gear.
Yep.
And that's going to be her wrestling gear. Okay. And Abraham came out and booked a tag team matchup for next week with Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace taking on Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne of Fatal Influence. So it'd be nice to finally see Fallon Henley back in the ring.
Hey, Shannon.
Did not like the reaction to him. It was a horrible way to end it.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Shannon. I really didn't care too much for this promo either, even though what the hell's her name again? Oh, I was gonna call her Mariah May, even though Blake Monroe came out and helped out. I didn't really think it was all that good of a promo. Like you said, Ava came out, booked a tag team match for next week. It'll be nice, like you said. I agree. Seeing Izzy Dame, not Izzy Dame, Fallon Henley. Seeing Fallon Henley in the ring again. I mean, Jason, she's horrible on the mic. Both of them were really bad. I mean, they're really bad on the mic. But I think Jacy Jayne is getting a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit better. But I didn't really care too much for this match, for this promo, rather. Really didn't get me anywhere except, the brawl that they were going at each other. But I gave it a C-.
Correction. Later on, Jordan Grace will be taking up Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne at the Great American Bash.
Oh, okay.
My mistake.
Okay. So, no. But, yeah, so overall, Greg, what'd you give it?
C+.
C+? Yeah. Same exact grade I gave it. I definitely agree with you on that grade. They just weren't cutting the mustard on a few things. And so, what's my opinion on pineapple on pizza? It doesn't belong. Yeah, so that was our NXT recap. Now we have Saturday night's main event coming up on the 12th.
What? We have Great American Bash.
Okay, Great American Bash is next week. Correct?
No, on the 12th.
Okay.
There's 3 matches right now. Oba Femi defending against Yoshiki tomorrow. Soluka defending a North American title against Izzy Dame. And then once again, the tag team matchup. That's the next PLE.
Okay.
Later that night, we have Saturday night's main event. Where right now, we have 2 matches. Seth freaking Rollins and against LA Knight, and the Gunner against Goldberg.
Okay.
And then the night after that, on a Sunday, we have Evolution. But right now we have 4 matches. We have Io Sky defending her women's world title against Rhea Ripley. We have Jacy Jayne defending the NXT women's title against Jordan Grace. We have the WWE Tag Team title fatal glory match where it's officially the Judgment Day to Roxanne and Martel Rodriguez against a team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, and a team from NXT. Then we have a women's title #1 contender battle royal. That is, we're going to try and get a lot of legends that they're looking to add to Evolution into that match. My hope is that Molly Holly will be in that match.
Molly Holly.
Molly Holly does not appear, I riot.
Yeah, Greg's a big Molly Holly fan.
I'm not. I never was. It's just that was just a random pick that I had one time. They just said Molly Holly, and it's been Molly Holly ever since.
Okay. So yeah, so we got some shows coming up. Great American Bash brings me back to the old NWA WCW days. So that's going to be nice to see. But Saturday night's main event, I mean, are we going to see? No, we're going to see that on Evolution, Becky and. I mean, I don't know. Right. We're going to see. Okay. All right. So, yeah, but I mean, I don't really see much in the way of Saturday night's main event. There's only a couple matches, like Greg said. And I'll still stick to what I say. And I'm glad that, we're allowed to make our own judgments and our own opinions and everything, but I would not be surprised, and I wouldn't be, well, yeah, I can't say I wouldn't be surprised, but as much as a lot of people won't like to see it, I really think Goldberg's going to beat Gunther, and then Seth is going to cash in on Goldberg. Because I really don't think, in my opinion, I really don't think Seth Rollins can beat Gunther. Gunther is just that big and that strong, and
But Goldberg can.
well, yeah, it's his retirement. Oh, yeah, that's true. It is his retirement match. I really don't think they're going to have him go out looking bad. Welcome back, Shannon. But it is Gunther, so we will see what WWE is going to do. We have, Friday Night SmackDown.
There is a new #1 contender for the Women's Speed Championship.
Who's that?
Alba Fire defeated Thea Hale.
Ooh.
So Alba Fire will be taking on Soluka.
That should be a good one.
Could this be the beginning of the title dump for Soluka?
Possibly.
Can't have too many titles out of her tag titles. They ain't gonna let her carry 3.
Right. So, so like Greg said, there's going to be a tag team from Raw, a tag team from SmackDown, and a tag team from NXT.
Yes, and we unofficially know the SmackDown representative. If you don't know, SmackDown was taped just after Monday Night Raw. So this year the Superstars can be home or do whatever for July, 4th of July.
Yep.
So we already know who's representing SmackDown.
Right.
There's also one other match added to Saturday night's main event based on something that happens on SmackDown.
Okay.
There's a third match for Saturday night's main event, and it's not a women's match, it is another match of 2 men.
All right. So we will definitely wait to see Friday night what that's going to be. So definitely check it out because we don't give out spoilers here. So you'll have to. Also, don't forget, Friday Night SmackDown goes back to 2 hours this week. No more 3 hours Friday Night SmackDown. It is back to 2 hours.
And they're still listing that other random match at Evolution that we talked about.
Okay. So, thank you, Kurt. Thank you for the follow. So, anything else you want to add there, Greg?
Nothing else I can think of.
All right. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and getting us to the 2.1K, 2.2K now. 2.2K likes. Thank you very much. Shannon, nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Good night to you, Shannon. We'll probably talk to you tomorrow. So on behalf of the Nokester Greg, this is the illustrious Mr. Trivia for Top Rope Report, saying thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you on Sunday. All righty.